whenever you are in the embassy, the structure itself, you meet people who have been refused the visa, and if you are not a very determined individual, very focused, you might lose control over your own composure, and that's a problem. I think it affects a lot of candidates.
Hi everyone, you're warmly welcome back to my channel. My name remains Miss Ampofua, and today I have a friend here who is going to share his F1 student visa experience. I know most of you, those who intend to come to school this fall, by now you would have received your funding decisions, and then what's next is to secure your F1 student visa, and we are here to guide you, give you a few tips per our experience. So I have a similar honor to introduce to you Mr. Dennis. Yeah. So Dennis, you are warmly welcome to my channel.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you. I'm so happy to have you here. So Mr. Dennis, yeah, they know your name now. So how long have you been in NAU?
I have been here for, I would say, 15 months.
15 months. Oh, okay. So then, yeah. He's the right person to talk to, and I think he went for his visa interview before the pandemic. So I earlier told you Doris will come and share her experience, so I want you to get a feel of how the interview session was before the pandemic, and probably I don't know if things changed, so he'll give us a few rundown about how his went, and then you'll take some lessons from there. So then I want to know, which year did you attend your visa interview?
I attended my visa interview May 2019.
Okay, so May 2019. Okay. Oh, we are in May. Okay, wow. And did you use an agent?
No, I didn't use any agent.
Oh, okay, so you did everything from the application?
Yes.
Okay.
I would say I had prior experience with the whole application process because I led a delegation to New Jersey as a college official, so I was very, I would say, acquainted with the whole application process.
Okay.
So.
Oh, okay, wow, that's nice. Dennis did everything on his own, no agent. I know some people normally use the agents, but since you are coming to do your masters, I think you should have that knowledge to do things on your own. Well, but then some people have busy schedules, so probably you can use an agent if you want to. And then what were the essential documents you needed for the application, and then for the visa interview too as well? So
I think the essential documents I would recall was I think a passport picture, a US sized passport picture. I needed my passport, and at the time I included my birth certificate at the time.
Oh, okay, all right. And at the visa interview too, when we were going for the appointment, what were some of the documents you carried along? I
remember taking the required document, that is the DS-160 confirmation page, the service receipt, the visa appointment fee receipt, and I actually had sets, so I would say the set A consisted of the required documents, the set B consisted of documents about the school I was going to attend, and the set C consisted of documents regarding KNUST, where I graduated from.
Oh, okay, wow. So then you sound pretty like organized, like you had everything intact.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, and where did you have your interview, your visa interview?
I had the interview at the US Embassy at Osu. I can only, I think, Osu, but I don't know the specific location.
Oh, okay. So overall, can you give us like the expenses, how much the entire process cost?
I think the entire process cost me around, at the time, $1,000 to $1,003.
That is all.
No, cedars.
Cedars. Oh, okay. Now we speak dollars, you know. Oh, okay, 1,200 cedars. Okay, I don't know if things have changed. Probably Doris will give us a different insight about that. Okay.
And if I would add, I paid for service fee $120 at the time. But while I was paying for the service fee, I received a notice that the service fee would change. I think at the time it would change in 2020 or some few months.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure the service fee has changed by now. So I would ask you guys to check to be sure before you make any payments.
Sure. Okay. And how did you feel prior to the appointment? Were you nervous or?
I think I would answer this question from my first experience.
Okay.
I wasn't nervous. I am a very spiritual person and I am very determined. If I want something, I prepare in time, I prepare ahead. So I wasn't nervous. My first experience was calm. I went into isolation for about 2 weeks before the interview. Right before the interview, I just
spiritual empowerment.
you know, and to think through things myself and to know myself better before I appear before somebody who would screen me. So I think that's what I did to fortify myself spiritually and physically.
So the D-Day, you were not like having doubts or?
Well, I don't think I had doubts that I would get the visa.
Okay.
Yes, but I would say that whenever you are in the embassy, the structure itself, you meet people who have been refused the visa, and if you are not a very determined individual, very focused, you might lose control over your own composure, and that's a problem. I think it affects a lot of candidates. So I would only advise that while in the structure itself, you focus on the news, the televisions that you can see around. I think they bring it there for a purpose, to calm our nerves, but we don't know that. So we go in there and we lose control over our own emotions, then we just get things wrong.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes you get to their place and then the atmosphere alone can intimidate you, especially if the people ahead of you have been refused. You go like, wow. Yeah, so for me, I had mine in the UK and then there was a white lady ahead of me. So actually I got there first, but I don't know, when they were calling, they refused to call me. I was thinking maybe there was some racism or I don't know. Well, I don't know. So then she went and then she came back with her passport. I was like, hey, you're bouncing on Ameko. But that was just by the way, yeah. So, okay, and then we want to know the kind of questions they asked you. A few tips, Pasco.
Yes, I think I remember for my F1 visa specifically, they asked me what program I was coming to read in the United States. Why that program? I remember what area of specialization I was willing to focus. And I remember what program I read in Ghanaian University and why. And I think those were the only questions I was asked for my F1.
Wow. Yeah. Nothing about funding?
No.
Okay. So I think they asked those questions to check your consistency, right?
Exactly.
Probably you read something else and you want to divert.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So they didn't ask about bank statements?
No. From my first experience, we took our bank statements.
That wasn't for F1?
No.
Okay.
No. They didn't ask for it, but normally when you are producing an answer, that requires, especially if they ask you who is sponsoring your education. And the best answer, I think, in my opinion, is to say the school has offered you a full scholarship. I don't think it is necessary to give the details, whether it is a tuition waiver or you should just say the school has offered you a scholarship. Then you provide documents to support it. But you go ahead to say that in case of emergencies, your family or your mother or any relative is willing to or ready to support you financially, and here are bank statements to prove or support your statement. And that's where you can draw out the bank statements as a proof of finance to guarantee what you said.
Yeah, okay. But once you got to the, when was your turn for you to be interviewed? What documents did they request?
They asked of my academic transcripts. They asked of my F1. Then they asked of my so what I know is that yes my I-20. Good, I-20, sorry. So when they ask of the I-20, they normally check the scholarship session.
Okay.
So the consular was very excited and was like, oh, you have this amount of funding, that's great. So I'm sure that answered the funding question for him.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so that I think probably is when the funding, they check on the I-20 and realize that it's not so great, that's when they want to ask more. Yeah, I see. Wow, so then your interview lasted for?
I think it was less than 2 minutes.
Wow, that's awesome. You guys should tap in this grade, so. Oh, nice. And after the interview, so after asking those questions, what did he say then?
He just congratulated me and asked me to prepare to visit the United States.
Wow, awesome. And how was the feeling like when you standing there? For me, like when they told me your visa has been approved, I was standing there like I didn't understand because all the documents I packed for the interview, they didn't ask for anything. That's for the I-20.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was feeling very happy like any normal person would feel. And as I said earlier, it was my second experience visiting the embassy, so I wasn't overly joyful. I just felt that I have accomplished a very, very great task that millions haven't been able to get past. So.
Wow. So what advice would you give to the prospective applicants? I know by now people are seriously watching videos, reading, calling friends who have been through the interview process. What would you want to tell them?
I think the first thing I would want to say is that know yourself. Know what you need to do to go through situations like interviews or any situations you would consider as a mountain in your life, because we have different experiences. We may have similar experiences, but you might go there to meet a different person.
Yeah.
So watching videos, listening to audios is a very good step as a beginner. But the best thing you can do is to know yourself, how you would respond to the questions and how you would appear. Be very, very organized. Know where each document is. You don't need to go there and be looking for your documents. When you are talking and you want to draw out or support your statement with the document, you just go right into your file and draw it out directly. You don't need to be looking for it. They don't need to see that about you. So I think it's more about your personal organization and your outward organization. Yeah,
great. I see. I think we have said it all. Yeah, that is a very key tip that you should take note, because I think mine, that was let me say, a compliment. The lady at the first counter, I think I felt, I don't know how the Ghanaian situation is, but in the UK I went to a first counter and then she took my I-20 and then my DS receipts and those things. So when she mentions it, I just pull it and she was like, you are so organized. She said it in such a way that the other person who was going to interview me heard it and smiled. So I thought it was like a plus even when I got there. So I think being organized is very important, and then don't get tensed. You can do it. Like it's just a normal interview. And I think if you have all the appropriate documents, your confidence too would take you there. Is there any final words, friends, family watching?
I think today is Mother's Day, so I would want to wish every lady a happy Mother's Day, especially my mother who is in Ghana right now, but I love her so much and she knows, and I pray for God's blessings on her life. And my great grandmother, my grandmother, I say thank you to you all for the guidance and encouragement you guys gave to me to make this very bold decision to move out here to to the United States. A very lonely place, I would say.
Of course. So yeah, thank you all for watching us, and we hope that this video is helpful, and we wish you all the best, and then we pray that you come out with the best results, and then hopefully you join us, because we need more family people here.
Of course.
We need you all here.
Of
So we are
course.
trying our best. Whatever tips we can give you,
Yes.
we will do our best to put it out there so that you all make it.
Yes.
And on this note, we would want to say adios. Bye bye.